Okay, go ahead, right?
What's up, everybody? I'm Dylan Bartlett, and I have a passion for small business. You're hearing it here first. So we're talking to business owners to find out how they got started and what keeps them driven to succeed. This is In Your Business. Hope we can use that for something. Color grading, videos. Sounds like science, gang. Yeah, please use all of these. We have to switch sides. We can fix all of this in the editing. I'm kidding. He likes it when I make fun of him like that. He makes fun of me all the time.
So what fascinates me about what you guys do is the concept of having, like, these kids having a place to hang out. So when I was a kid, I didn't really have a place to hang out. And if I'm honest, I did like a lot of like kind of like bad, like not nice stuff.
You know what I mean? You're a bad kid?
Yeah, I was a bad kid. You know what I mean? Like boredom. Like there was boredom, and then I'd just be like, oh look, there's like, you know, there's like bricks and windows. You know what happens if those two things meet?
I was
a
super good kid.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe
that concept never crossed my mind.
So, you know, and then I'm like, oh, you know, like what happens if, like what would happen if you set a trash can on fire? You know?
I was like, I wonder what this book is about.
I love it. You're like, just thumbing through the pages of my novel. No, I think it's hugely productive to have a place to like hang out and learn, because like it was an issue for me for sure.
I'm so proud to work there. Like total dream come true for me. For
no
sure.
doubt. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're hanging out with Emily from LaunchPad in Hanover. Why don't you tell these people about LaunchPad?
LaunchPad is a youth center in Hanover. Are we the first like out of Kincardine? I was wondering that.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
out of the Kincardine.
Yeah, we have a few more booked now, but you're the first one. Absolutely.
Yeah. So super. Thank you.
Yes, no worries.
LaunchPad is a youth center. It's a drop-in space. We're open Tuesday to Friday, 3:30 to 8. But what is super cool is that we are like a trades training facility. So we've got a kitchen, full kitchen designed by Hobart, welding shop, technology lab. We just opened up, and we're super excited to have opened up a wood shop, and there's an art space, and it's a place for you to come to figure out and try all those different things and figure out if they're excited about that and want to turn that into a future career.
Yeah, which is very cool. Like, so do they get to like, so I mean, obviously every day you guys are open, the kids can kind of like be there.
Yeah.
But how do they like schedule the certain things that they want to do?
We have after school programs that run in about 8-week chunks. So they can try something. If they don't like it, just 8 weeks, they can try something else the next 8-week session, and they match the school year. So January, February, we take March off for March break. They're just started up last week, so April, May is another chunk. And yeah, so we put out a schedule a couple months before, and they get to sign up for it just like they would hockey.
That is awesome, yeah. So what are they doing right now?
So we have 4 welding programs. It's super awesome, and that's kind of what inspired us to do the wood shop, because we were getting so much excitement about welding. So there's 4 different classes, all at different advanced levels and age groups. So that's super awesome. We've got cooking programs, and we've got technology programs where we have a 3D printer at the youth center. So we've got 3D printing.
Oh, these kids.
And we just did training on like these little mini robots last week. So we're going to have robots in the fall.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So it's
very cool. And like, I know we did the graphic design thing, which is pretty cool.
Really awesome.
And so I mean, like these kids are just getting like, it's a crazy like variety of stuff.
Right.
I mean, like,
and it's so cool to like have a space like that where they can take art, they can take cooking, they can take welding and wood shop all in one facility, all in 1 week if you want us to come every day, or just sign up for one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So
very cool. Well, let's talk about Emily.
Oh
my goodness. What's your story? Did you grow up on a farm?
Yes. So I have a strawberry farm.
Yeah, very cool.
Strawberry farm just outside of Lucknow. So
go ahead, give him a shout out.
Yeah. Hey, Morrison berries. Hey, farm. It snowed this morning. That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck for sure. Snow is gross.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you then? Like, were you like? Because I mean, I grew up in the city, right?
Yeah.
So. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like we didn't have chores, you know?
Right.
Like, I mean, of course, I'm cutting the grass and I'm taking the garbage out and all that stuff, right? But, like, is growing up on a farm like you see it? Like, is it cliche like you see it in movies and on TV? Like, are you, like, do you think you had less breaks than normal kids? Like, did you constantly have stuff to be doing all the time?
Yes, Dad totally was like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. I remember one time, so with strawberries, okay, we plant the plants and then we don't let them produce fruit in their first year. So we have to go through by hand and pull all the blossoms off so that the nutrients go into reinvesting into the plant and not to produce a fruit for the first year. So we got a stronger plant.
Yeah.
So, but you can't do that with a machine.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 acres of strawberry plants that you have to go along.
So it is just you're walking along plucking them off.
You're bending over and plucking them off. And I remember one time he was like, you get 25 cents a row. And I was like, that's money, and I'm a kid, so I think it's cool.
Of course,
but after like one row, I'm like, this sucks.
Of
this
course.
is not worth it.
God,
No.
I mean, I don't know who remembers $2 bills. You know, like
Right.
$2 bills used to be a thing. But I remember as a kid, like I'm just like ripping my bike down the street, and I find this $2 bill, and I thought, I'm retired.
You're done.
I'm a millionaire
Just
now.
done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go and buy the 1 cent, 5 cent candies, and how many is that? It's like a trillion. You know, so I get it. So I mean, so how many rows are there? Like, let's say you powered through. You worked all day, all night, and you did all of the rows.
Yeah.
What's the most amount of money that you could even have made?
I think I legit quit after 2 rows though. But
So you got 50 cents deep and you were like, forget it?
because I quit, Dad was like, no, you don't get it.
Yeah.
But no, well, we have the field. You can drive by the farm, and it's super close to the road.
Yeah.
Like this time, so you can see it. And there's got to be at least, I think, 10, 20, 60 rows in that field.
So you're not
Yeah.
like 25 cents a row. You're not getting rich anytime soon.
But yeah,
That's awesome. So what's life like growing up in Lucknow?
Grew up in Lucknow. I would say that's the funny thing when we talk about like where did you go as a kid, and circling back around to LaunchPad is that the bus picked me up for school, and then the bus dropped me off at home, and we live on a farm, so I'm very lucky that side by side my cousins were there, and so we hung out with each other a lot.
Yeah.
But you really relied on your parents to take you somewhere or
For sure.
a car, and so I never went to a youth center when I was a kid because
I guess
they're just
For like a lot of farm kids, that's how it would be though, right? Like
Right.
there's quite a bit of isolation on the go.
Yeah, and I think I'm a very lucky one that I could just run across the field and then bam, there's my cousin. And so we would hang out with each other and became super close. But I know that that's also weird and that's not normal for other farm kids. I'm
bizarre.
super honored, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So was it like the ultimate freedom when you got your driver's license then?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Then it was like you could just roam free
Just
and
roam
go
free.
anywhere.
And I kind of thought that, well, if my mom's not using her car, that means I get to use her car, and I didn't have to ask. But
I remember the first time, like both my parents grew up in a small town, and like they kind of were able to just do whatever. Like my dad was probably driving when he was like 12 or something. Like who knows? You know what I mean? Like nobody, there was like it was very like rural and kind of like nobody was really around. And I remember my dad like letting me pull my parents' car into the driveway when I was a kid. And I didn't have my license or anything yet, and I almost drove like our one car into our other car, like in our own driveway. And he was just like, no, okay, get out. That's enough. Yeah, no freedom for you. It's not the same. Like in the city, you can kind of get anywhere that you want to go without really having a driver's license.
Right.
So there's not that urgency is not the same. You know what I mean? But for you, yeah, I mean, you must have been like, all right, now, exactly, yeah.
Except there's totally the double standard. Well, I was the first kid, so everything my mom experienced was new for me, and I just remember like grade 12. So I've already had my license for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on student council, and student council always goes to like Wonderland for like the end of the year grade 12 graduation trip. So I was like, yeah, Mom, like I'm going to Wonderland. I'm gonna take the car.
That's what you sounded like?
Yeah, it's exactly what I sounded like. And she said, no, you're not driving to Toronto on your own. I'll be driving you. Like, you're not ready. And I'm like, Mom, I got my friends. Like, they're so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then what happens 2 years later when my brother is on student council and goes to 12, he gets to drive alone. Oh, man.
Oh, you know what,
Such
Mom?
double standards.
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you treat me this way? So, Canada's Wonderland we're going to come back to. I want to just touch on both you and your brother in student council. What is that about?
Well, like, at different times.
No, yeah, I know, but like...
Well,
Why are you so keen?
Because you gotta-
what's happening on student council? You know what I mean? Like what are you guys getting done? Are you guys like fighting for like? Do you want like better snacks in the vending machine? Like what's the hot topic stuff that you guys are? Do you remember like what? Like, did you have to get nominated or
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got like voted in or something
Yeah.
in like an election.
Right. And we went to a Catholic school that didn't have like, there's no, like, no one can be higher than the other person. So we had co-chairs.
Okay, all right.
So that was pretty cool. Co-chairs.
Real democracy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what was like the hot topic items? Like what were you guys fighting for?
See, I don't know if our student council was about advocacy,
Okay.
more as like, let's have fun. So we just planned fun things
Yeah.
for people. So
All right.
my strawberry farm and my strawberry keenness, I remember we had strawberry milkshake day. So we set up and gave
Amazing.
out free strawberry milkshakes
Free?
to people. Yep. Yep,
Okay.
that was fun. So we would like host dances to raise money.
And
to
like
give
obviously
free
like
stuff
these
out.
are the real deal like with fresh
Yes, like
strawberries.
I have,
yeah.
and my famous strawberry sauce, and like I've assessed which ice cream goes well, of course, with the strawberry sauce to make.
I'm
those
gonna
strawberry
offend you for a
milkshake.
second and just say that I'm actually not a huge ice cream guy. I'm not.
My
yeah.
other passion in life is ice cream stores. So the fact that you just said that makes me really sad.
I love that you have somehow ice cream stores are a passion in your life.
Well, I've had 2 already.
You-
I've operated 2 ice cream stores in my time already, and I know that there's an empty ice cream store on the main street of Hanover. So I've already scouted out my 3rd.
How have you managed to work at 2 ice cream
No,
stores?
not work. Own. Like
2 ice cream
2
stores.
ice cream stores.
Oh man.
So
okay.
here's so I was on the Huron Kinloss ice cream trail.
Yeah.
Yep, I was on the first one. My ice cream store.
Oh, we
was.
love the ice cream trail.
Yeah,
here. Those guys are
it's
great.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a very cool
it's-
thing. Yeah,
it's
I
won
mean,
some awards.
tourism through ice cream. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Well, and there was 5 stops on the original one, and people used to do them all in one day,
Yeah.
or they would do it was like bike it. It was before like the wine biking things, which I don't understand. Have you ever biked a wine tour?
No.
I feel like you would fall off.
Oh, for sure you would. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I feel it's a really bad idea.
Yeah,
but
it does. Yeah.
good on-
Yeah, I think you're not supposed to drink and drive. So I don't think you're supposed to drink and ride a bike
Ride a
either.
bike,
yeah,
right,
that
yeah.
seems like super dangerous. So Canada's Wonderland.
Yes.
Are you a ride person?
Yes, but I'm not a line person.
Okay.
I refuse
yeah,
to
This is
stand
not
in
the place
lines.
for you then.
No,
yeah, you shouldn't
no.
go there.
No. I remember one time going to Walt Disney World and having like the Fast Pass. That was the best
Okay, yeah.
time of my life.
Yeah, I know-
Did they have them at Canada's Wonderland?
You know, I
Fast
don't
Passes?
know. I hope so. I would assume so. Right, because you're right. The Fast Pass is amazing. For anybody who
Yeah.
doesn't know what the Fast Pass is, it's essentially like you like pay a little bit of extra to have
Right.
this special pass, but you just get to bypass all the lines and
Huge
just walk.
lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, because I'm the same as you actually. Like, I'm a lover of roller coasters. I
Yeah.
love going on the rides and stuff. But to wait in line for 2 hours
For like 90 seconds
Yeah,
of
it's just
something that you'll be screaming the entire time.
It seems like an enormous waste
yeah,
of time.
yeah. When you
Yeah.
could be eating those waffle things that you get at one
Funnel
Wonderland.
cake.
Yes.
Oh
that's
my
it.
god.
Why stand in line when you can eat funnel cakes?
Have you ever seen them make it?
It's like you squeeze it, right?
Yeah.
Into,
Yeah. It's just like I don't know if it's pancake batter or something.
I think it's like beaver tail batter.
And so it's like more like dough.
Yeah. Have you ever made beaver tails at home
No,
before?
no, of course not.
I tried to make it with the kids and I almost burnt the place down.
So don't make them. Just go to Beaver Tail if you want to get one of those things.
Grand Bend has a beaver tail spot, if you didn't know that. It's still far away from King Carden.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
No, yeah, sweet.
Beaver Tails.
FYI.
I had last time I had one that was in Collingwood.
Oh.
They also have them in
Okay.
in Blue Mountain.
Blue
That's
Mountain,
where it
right.
is, in Blue Mountain.
Base of Blue Mountain, strip in Grand Bend.
Because they have something similar, like in Newfoundland, where my parents are from. They make something called toutons, which is essentially like you make bread dough and then you kind of like flatten it out a little bit like a pancake, and then you fry it like you cook it in a frying pan like a pancake
frying
you
pan,
would,
okay.
but it's essentially just fried dough.
Right.
And it's like it's very similar to that, but it's like a super easy version that you could make at home. You know what I mean? Like you just like stretch them out into pancakes and put them in the frying pan, and then boom, bam, you're off to the races.
Damn.
Toutons.
Toutons. I will look that
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I don't even know if you'd be able to find it. You know, like I don't even know if it's a real thing.
Look, get
But
your
it's
Monty sent it
Yeah,
to me.
exactly. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so what's like the one thing about LaunchPad that you think people just don't know that you'd like for them to know?
It's a skills-based learning center. But what we're doing this for is to get these youth to love the place that they grew up in.
Yeah.
Because research has shown that if youth love their hometown and feel a connection to their hometown, whether it be in a person, place, or thing, there's a strong chance that they're going to come back after they go off to university, college, or travel, backpack across Europe. And so we're just trying to connect that through skills and through careers aspect of it. So when you take the welding program or the woodshop program, one of their classes is going on to a field trip to visit other employers so they can see the difference between a training center and what a real welding shop looks like, but also they can see, oh, I can get a job here.
Yeah.
And it subconsciously connects those dots.
Yeah.
So the youth center is an economic development strategy in the sense that we are showing the youth in our community how awesome this community is, because we need our rural communities to survive and be vibrant with our youth choosing to stay here or attracting other young families to come here.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put that thought process in their brains by saying, after school, come hang out at that sweet place.
Yeah.
Learn some skills, figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. And oh, by the way, you love graphic design, well, we're going to take you on a field trip to PRG to see
totally.
the pathway to success.
And then when you do go to actual college or university, hopefully they're thinking they want to come back and start a business or start a career locally, right?
Exactly.
Because you're right, that is a massive issue that we have in a lot of rural areas, is that people leaving and not coming back.
Right.
Now, if you live in a lovely town with a great community support and they have these fond memories of growing up here, it's much more likely that they're going to come back after, right?
Right. But not a lot of people have that support system where they can have that already organically built in. And so that's why LaunchPad is a place where you can come and connect the dots for youth. Yeah.
Do you think that the training is there's always an element of people not understanding the magnitude of the training that you guys are doing there? I know we've talked about it a little bit before, where it feels like some people maybe think that kids are just coming in there and they're just straight up hanging out, but they're not really,
no,
right?
They're not at all.
They're being super productive and they're learning real life skills while they're there, which is pretty amazing.
Right. It's a pride of mine to take on the teaching youth what it means to be a good employee.
Yeah.
And the fundamental principles of looking at somebody in the eye when you talk to them, shaking their hand when you say hello. Oh, hello. And what it means to have a good handshake and not just that fish flop. So through osmosis, they're meeting new youth and meeting new people in there and building new relationships that they might have outside, and we worked really hard you don't have to be a youth from Hanover to come. One of our biggest success stories was a kid from Port Elgin who came to LaunchPad,
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and you have you've had a couple kids who fully got jobs because of the skills they learned,
because they came to LaunchPad. So our youth from Port Elgin, he came to LaunchPad to take the welding program because he was going off to school in the fall to college, and he didn't have time in his timetable to take welding at his own high school.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay, I'll take this program. He was a really great kid, picked it up really easily. And so when Hobart from Owen Sound called us and said, we're too busy, we need our experienced welders are doing basic welds. We know you have a welding program there. Do you need any kid that needs a summer program or a summer job? And within 3 days of them calling us, we had him up there interviewing, and he got the job and made kick at money all summer. And then was able to go 2 weeks over Christmas break as well to make it hard.
Awesome.
And it's just, and he then being in that manufacturing facility before he even went off to college was opened up to the possibilities of welding. He got to do robotic welding and see that, and it was such an amazing
you got to see and
opportunity.
experience a bunch of stuff that you can't just do without having those basic skills. Yeah, that's cool. So what made you, because you went away to school obviously and you did a bunch of stuff. What made you leave and then end up coming back?
Well, I thought that this area wasn't awesome. It's kind of you need to leave to recognize how awesome we had it. 20 minutes from the lake where I live. You guys are 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it out the door. But I didn't think it was special, and I didn't think it was awesome. But then once I left and went to school and
experienced a little bit of stuff and saw some other places,
I was just like, you know what? Strawberry farming is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And so Michael and I, my brother, are taking over the farm together from our parents, and we've made that commitment. But I also, as much as the farm is a huge part of me and will always be, I know that I also want to contribute in some way to make my community a better place, and this is my other love.
Yeah,
So.
very cool. All right, so growing up on a farm, I got a couple of questions I got to ask you now. Are you a morning person? Because
No.
I mean, like that's like the big thing, right? It's
Right.
like, oh, like when the rooster, does his thing, then you got to get up, and it's like 4:00 in the morning or something,
When
right?
it's strawberry time, I'm up and out at like my brother would still say no if he was watching this. He'd be like, "No, you're awful."
I don't think you are.
I don't think you are.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder, do you have to get up at 4:30 in the morning? Like,
I don't think so.
really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
But he would say yes. But in when it's like go time, yes.
Yeah.
But when it's not go time,
Then no.
then no.
Like an extremely no.
Extreme no. Like November, December, January, February. Let's sleep.
Yeah, let's sleep in. Let's sleep in. So when you do get up in the morning, whenever it may be, how do you feel about breakfast food?
I love breakfast food.
We're on the same page.
Yep.
I also love breakfast
food
and
all
coffee's
the
a part
time.
of that, obviously, because I know
Huge.
you're a big coffee.
Yep.
I'm a big coffee
Yep.
person for sure. So as you know, I'm taking breakfast food over probably just about anything. Where's breakfast food rank on the radar for you? And I guess like at your house, like are we having strawberries with breakfast every morning? You guys must have like the most amount of delicious strawberries ever.
Yeah.
Very spoiled by strawberries.
Very spoiled. Oh yeah, like if you ever get a strawberry in the grocery store from October to March, it's awful. I'm gonna silently judge you. Like I don't know why you're doing that, and so, but what can you do?
You gotta get what you can get when you can get it.
Right, and I think that also. I love it when people come to my farm and eat the strawberries straight from the plant. And you know what? You can come pick your own on the farm. So pick your own. We sell it from the market. We have a little building. There's a bakery inside and everything, and a little ice cream store.
Of course, we're back to that again.
To that. And then we also deliver to like local grocery stores within 100-kilometer radius.
Amazing.
So you can find us in the Sobeys in Kincardine.
Very cool.
Sobeys is a big supporter of local food.
Yeah.
So-
Actually, it's funny. I actually know that about them. They have quite a bit of that. Now, if you walk through the store, they have like a whole sections labeled as being like within 100 kilometers of the store that you're standing in.
Right.
It's actually a really cool like kind of initiative that they're doing right now. They are trying to get as much local stuff as they can. Yeah.
And where some people have a mandate to choose always the cheapest price, Sobeys will prioritize local over like getting food from the Mississauga Food Terminal.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that way. So big shout out to Sobeys in Kincardine. Thank you. But
That's awesome.
we were talking about
food.
strawberries, about food and strawberries
Exactly.
and breakfast. Like what I love is when people come in and they eat one of my strawberries and they realize it just blows their mind.
Yeah,
because
this is the greatest strawberry of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when my brother and I are sitting there at the beginning of the year figuring out which plants to buy, because there's probably about 26 different varieties of strawberries, depending on size, color, taste, and
You guys got some decisions to make.
right? We always stroke the ones off that say good for transportation, because they're talking about, can your strawberry handle the trucking from California to Toronto? And we don't have to worry about that because...
Do you think that like so much of like local food is just education and understanding like where you're buying the food from, like where it comes from and how it's like grown and all that
Right.
stuff?
And I think that there's, we're not an organic farm, and there's nothing against organic farming. Like that's a practice of a choice.
Yeah.
Good on you. But when people have that organic / conventional fight, I don't think that's a valid fight. I think it's local food versus non-local, and that's what gives the taste, and that's what gives the quality.
Very cool. So you got your last meal. You can choose one thing for your last meal ever. Are you sweet or savory person?
Savory. I'm
Savory,
thinking
okay.
like the most beautiful barbecue steak I've ever
Okay,
barbecued
yeah,
myself. I'm
yeah.
thinking about cheesy potatoes.
Okay. Right on. That's awesome. And that's it? No vegetables? Full stop?
No, like let's say barbecued, like broccoli, and peppers, and stuff like that.
I love grilled vegetables, man.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe one of the best ways to eat vegetables is like, grilled in some way, shape, or form.
I actually just had barbecued broccoli for the first time a couple weeks ago. Blew my mind.
Yeah, see, I think I would love
peppers
that.
were allowed on the barbecue, but
No, I think you can
No?
put anything you want on the
I
barbecue.
know.
Oh man, I love that. I thought you thought peppers had exclusive rights to the barbecue.
Yeah.
But now look at
No.
barbecue.
I just met somebody on Friday. There was a big youth day in Owen Sound highlighting youth entrepreneurs in Grey Bruce, and I was sitting on a panel, and the guy beside me makes butter. Like that's full
Yeah.
stop. That's his
Yeah.
business, and he had to eat sweet corn
Yeah.
without any butter, and he thought it was disgusting. And I said, "Well, come eat my sweet corn." So strawberries, we do sweet corn in the fall or the late summer, and then pumpkins in the fall too.
Oh, look
so
at this.
We're yeah.
There's
And the
more
growth-
than just berries.
Right. The growth plan though is to add raspberries. We had them when I was a kid, but they got sick, so we had to like pull up the field, and it was just.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Very cool. All right, so what's your hobby? Like, what's the thing that people don't know that you're into? Like, after work, what are you doing that's like kind of off the wall and weird?
I curl.
Oh no! Oh no!
I thought yesterday was the last curling day of the season, like on TV.
Yeah.
But then they announced one more tournament in 2 weekends. So curling's not over yet, but I was slightly
man.
scared for a while that I was.
You and Olivia would get along. Olivia is there this weekend.
No, she was in Toronto.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
looking at the schedule
Yeah.
and thought maybe I could go, but
Yeah,
just didn't
her and her
go.
husband are there all weekend. I want to say she said that they had something like I want to say over 30. Is that absurd? Like tickets
30
to over
tickets.
30 games?
Yeah, no, it's not absurd at all.
Oh, okay. Because that
Yeah.
seems like impossible. Like, how
No.
could there be that many games? All right,
There is, and,
I know-
and curling is so cool because, and especially, so the one she was at, their tournament, Pinty's sponsors it.
Yeah.
And so they set up a bar right behind
Yeah.
the players. So like you're watching the curling game, camera pans onto like the team meeting when they're deciding which shot, and then you got people in the background just drinking beers.
Do they have
behind
chicken
them.
though too? They must have chicken.
I think it's like up, not on the ice floor.
Oh,
Because
okay. Oh,
beer
yeah.
is manageable, but chicken wings can be
Yeah.
a little sticky. And
Yeah, I guess so. You're
Yeah.
right. You got to have a beer hand and a wing hand. That's how I do it. Like I got one clean hand that's for my beer.
Right.
And then I one hand
You
eat
can
wings.
one hand chicken wings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
I
Yeah.
don't have that talent.
I don't want to get like all messy on both my fingers.
Maybe I
yeah.
should try that because I slightly intimidated to.
No, you got to
eat wings
have.
in
That's
public.
why every like one-handed game is the best. Like like darts are amazing. And
you can-
yeah, you can have a beer and you can play darts, but you can't have a beer and you're playing pool. Like that's kind of annoying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like now I gotta keep setting my beer down all
Right.
the time to do
And
it.
you get in trouble for setting your beer on the pool table,
Yeah,
right?
people don't like that.
No.
So what song, what band are you like listening to right now that you're just loving?
The radio? I'm so bad with
Okay.
this stuff. I know.
All right.
I feel like the radio is your connection to your community.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I totally
listen
get that.
to
Yeah.
the radio a lot, but I get mad because they only really play 10 songs on a loop.
Now, which one of those 10 songs are you just like loving right now?
Love it.
What do you normally listen to?
I listen to country.
Oh, okay. All right, next question. If these guys want to learn more about LaunchPad, where do they go?
We've got a website, www.yatc.ca. If this comes out,
YATC.ca.
because we're LaunchPad Youth Activity and Technology Center.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But if you're not busy, Friday, April 26th, come out for a tour. We're having a big open house day to celebrate the wood shop.
Very cool.
My aunt and uncle will have a food truck, have a mobile pizza trailer.
Amazing.
So we're going to bring that up. Thank
They're
you.
gonna bring the pizza to you and cook it right there.
Cook it right there. And it's a wood-fired pizza, so your pizza only takes 90 seconds.
delicious.
And they use all locally sourced ingredients, so you're just
Very
going to
cool.
love your pizza that you eat. And we got formal speeches at 12:30 because we've had a few people contribute and sponsor the wood shop, so that's going to be super awesome.
Very cool. And date again?
Friday, April 26th
In Hanover at LaunchPad.
at LaunchPad.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
hanging out with
you.
us. Guys, tune in next week when we chat with another awesome local business person. Now we can have coffee. Oh, delicious.